that I want you to know about tenacity is that it is one of the most potent defining factors of how you would turn out in life. And it is a distinguishing factor between the weakling and the brave. See, my encounter with poetry was not one of a fancy art form and a young person who just wanted to write. It was one of protest. And that happened when I was 13 years old. Two of my aunts got abused by their husbands. And I watched how my mom fought tooth and nail for justice, but I felt helpless at 13. I was only armed with a pen and paper, and so I wrote. And then I gave it to my mother and I said, take it to the oppressors. How dare they hit my aunts? My mother circled back when I was 16 years old and she said, let's make a video. And I agreed. And so we made a video. And the poem was titled, Violence Has No Religion. And it hit 3 million views on YouTube, and it also went viral on Instagram. But that not being the point, what made me continue was the fact that 3 weeks later, my mother received a call from someone in our hometown. I'm from Bew. And he said because he watched this video and listened to this poem, he stopped hitting his wife. And at that point was when I realized that purpose had found me. Because someone's mindset was changed and another person's life was saved. And that was how I realized that this is my purpose in life. And somewhere deep down in my heart, I knew this was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. But then I went and I met my mother and I said, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And that woman, being the bold, beautiful woman that she was, you could still see the fear in her eyes because she didn't want her daughter to go through what she went through because she chose the arts. But I had learned tenacity by looking at just her becoming. And so that was the moment that my mother taught me how to sleep with my eyes open, wide open enough to look inwards and feel the weight of my heart. There is a galaxy seating at my chest, my rib cage expanding to make it feel at home as though it has conquered a quest. I become the universe inhabiting the galaxy and all that's in between. The stress, the anxiety, memories, grief. Life presents you with gray, says color is out of reach, denies you rainbow. A little rain for the greens, a little snow for the hills, a little sun for the light. Broken hearts I seek to mend, but get caught up in between. Oh, the healer becomes the villain. Oh, you will know the heart is made of glass when it breaks. I am trying to relearn what hope means, how to be a doctor, not a butcher, how not to die without a heart. See, the thing about sleeping with your eyes wide open is that you gasp for air. You don't know when the light comes, and when it's dark, you fight to open what is already open. But maybe it's not the light. Maybe the sermon is to close my eyes for once, explore the galaxy seating at my chest. And I asked my friend Bash once, how do you fight for your peace? He said, you must let go of that which does not feed your soul. There are wars I do not want to fight, battles I never started. I am just a victim of circumstance, forced to improvise, using my existence as a weapon. Oh, I am a hero after all. Dazed out, Cripson says, you are not good enough, but I know who I come from. A mother whose hands were magic. She could fix anything broken, wipe tears with just a kiss, mend hearts with just a hug. I come from a woman whose toil was grace, blessed me with the little she had to make the most of me. Oh, I come from a hero after all. And so when my sanity is on attack by a garrison of query, I answer with one. How dare I be less? When I said, I am the last planet, I meant it because I come from a hero after all. And so that was the story of how I told my mom that I wanted to do this. But both I and my mother knew that we had two elephants, not one in the room this time around, to face. One was society, and the second was my father. Now, my father did everything humanly possible to make sure that I didn't have a voice. And the society, by extension, also supported that decision. But I was resilient. And if you know me, you know that I can be quite stubborn. I didn't listen. And this wasn't me trying to fight my father. I was at a crossroad of giving up or making my father realize that art can be used for good and the cross pollination of multimedia and poetry can actually change mindsets and by extension heal the world. I was willing to go for the second choice, tenacity. And it's not all gloomy because today I am proud to tell you that my father is one of my biggest fans. I've been doing this for 13 years now, and my father apologized, and we are best of friends. And the society has been kind to me because after I didn't give up and I kept on going, and I proved to them that art and the voice of a northern woman can be used for good, they also gave me their daughters and sons to train using my platform, the True My Voice. And we've been able to train 506 young people across Nigeria on the importance and power of voice and the art of digital advocacy. The girl beside you holds the future like a promise, a dream waiting to be fulfilled. Do not look away. Now, what really broke my world apart and also helped me was when I lost my mother. It was really when my career had just taken off and she passed away. Now, that was the person that was willing for us to do it afraid together. But I also still had a choice. We would all lose someone. But when this person is gone, does that mean that promises should be broken? Or does that mean that dreams should die or the vision should perish? No. That person that supported you would want to see you continue regardless of the obstacle. And that was the choice that I made. And my mentor, Mr. Wale Ajiboye, he said to me, Maryam, your gift is not just your talent because there are people way more talented than you. Your gift is the spirit of restlessness that you have been able to harness and convert into tenacity. Never let that go. And from that day onwards, there was no looking back for me. And I understand that saying it might be easier than doing it. And I get it that sometimes you might look at me and say, I can't do it. I'm too young to see beyond. I can't do it. I'm too old for a future to hold. No, I can't do it. I'm slow. It will take forever to glow. Or I can't do it. I'm short. Climbing onto the wall will lead to a drastic fall. No, I can't do it. My past isn't a good cast. You all say as I'll listen with keen ears, different views pointing to one major point, the fear of failure, discovering something new as it could be a mania, a sense of growth to a new idea. But have you heard of King Na, a 12-year-old motivational speaker giving life to young souls? You can call him a keeper. Have you heard of Heartland Sanders? Had every right to give up because of so much blunders. At 88, he made it. Through the freedom to fail, he nailed it. His dead at sight, but not in the taste buds, because the KFC you crave, he created. So where is the question of age? For our whatever age, there are people searching for inspiration, and that can just be you. Have you heard of our very own late Laboyari? To zauna ka ji labari, danga ilimi ya zama ƙari, da shi aka yaƙi jahilci na fari, inspiration ga masu neman ilimi babban jari, ku kira shi tauraron taurari. Several years working in areas through patience and diligence, he gained recognition undeniable in the nation. I salute that man of conviction. Walking slow shouldn't make your confidence low, for life is an endless struggle. Just don't stop the hustle. Don't fear the fall, fear staying on the ground. But no matter how many times you fall, never call the ground home. People talk about the future but fail to realize you're living in the future that becomes past with every second that passes by. If you do not grab the reins and make the change today, then indeed you're wasting the future. So why did I share all of this with you? I'm sharing all of this with you because over the years I have learned something. Treat your existence like the gift it is, even on days you're unsure of it and you are but a shadow of yourself. Another thing you do not know about tenacity is that it is the correct response to the question that the universe almost asks all of us. And what is that question? It is the gift of a dream or a vision. When you bring your tenacity to the table, the universe, God, rewards you with grace and favor. And one last thing that I wish to leave you with. Grace is the gift that God gives you, but discipline is a gift that you give yourself. And discipline is a component of tenacity. And if you aren't dogged, you can never be different in this world. Thank you very much.